Hi guys, I'm Shmi. Hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today to take a first look at the brand new BMW M5 CS. It is the most powerful BMW production road car ever with 635 horsepower. It is the lightweight, more driver-focused, dynamic version of the M5 Super Saloon, distinct with a few features including a couple of exclusive colours, but also the gold bronze accents that you can see for the wheels, the grille surrounds and plenty more. But today I can show you through all of the details of the new M5 CS. Despite not being able to be there myself because I'm over here in the United States, Schmark 150 was able to head to M-Town, the home of BMW M, in Garching, north of Munich in Germany, to go check it out. So let's take a first look at the new BMW M5 CS. Let's get straight into this and take a look at the new BMW M5 CS. The car is seen here in the studio at the home of BMW M, where I've been lucky to visit a number of times, including about a year and a half ago to collect the BMW M8 competition Shmeemobile, but also a couple of months ago where I was checking out the M3 competition and announced that I had ordered one which will actually be here in a few months. Today though, we're exploring the M5 CS and we'll start with a walk around to go through all of the details, then we'll check out the interior and go through the software and the technology before also getting a sound check, a cold start, followed by a few light revs to hear what it's like. The M5 CS is very much the driving enthusiast choice, the purest version from the 5 Series lineup, of course taking the M5 and the M5 competition and being based on the LCI, the Lifecycle Impulse, the updated facelift version, but really dialing it up. You can see the design is more aggressive. You can see the use of carbon fibre for saving weight. It's 70 kilos lighter than the M5 competition, while also being more powerful. You have the CS badging found all around, along with the gold bronze accents, particularly for the kidney grills. Even the front apron has a new, more sporty appearance. In fact, wherever you look, you start to see new details specific to the CS, and we'll be exploring all of these. So the LCI came with the update to the headlights, new headlights and taillights, as well as some new software features. Obviously we've got the details with the carbon. You can see the boot lip spoiler as well, and in fact I even saw some prototypes testing before now myself. Then down at the back, the signature quad tailpipes that you would expect to find on a BMW M model, along with a new look to the diffuser. There are a lot of details that we will need to go through though with the CS, because it's been extensively reworked under the skin. A lot of things updated and redesigned, reconfigured to be at home on the track. And obviously we also have the very special wheels for this car in the gold bronze, akin to those that we saw on the M2 CS when it launched in Misano blue with the gold bronze accents, in this case against the frozen dark green of the paintwork as well. Interestingly, the M5 CS is a limited production model. It will only be in build for 12 months, with the first production starting in March 2021 and the earliest deliveries a month later. Miraculously, BMW M have managed to save a whopping 70 kilos of weight when compared with the M5 competition. That's thanks in part to the removal of some standard equipment to save 13 kilos by taking out the through-load system, the 4-zone air conditioning, some driving assistance, the CD player and even the comfort access, but also the extensive use of lightweight materials, the carbon fibre, for example, found on the roof, the carbon exterior package, saving 7 kilos, carbon ceramic brakes along with the lightweight wheels, saving another 25 kilos, the interior carbon and lightweight seats for an additional 11 kilos, and additionally also 14 kilos saved by the removal of some of the sound deadening, meaning you can hear even more of that TwinPower Turbo V8. Around the front, we still have that kidney grille design, the single frame. We've got the gold bronze accents. You can see the carbon fibre lip around the base, where obviously we have all of the openings for cooling towards the engine. We've got an entirely new look to the bonnet with the central hump, but also the openings to either side of that. A very aggressive look to the car from the very start, along with the updated elements like the new headlights. Of course, we have this gold bronze finish to the wheels as seen on the M2 CS, but there have been a lot of things reworked under the skin for the M5 CS in addition to what you see. For example, numerous elements have been retuned, the bearing springs for all 4 axles, retuned gearbox software, differential software and steering software, along with retuned damper control as well, all obviously working through the 8-speed M Steptronic Auto gearbox and the 4-wheel drive xDrive system that we saw, the switchable system between 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. We absolutely must talk about the yellow headlights that were first introduced with the BMW M8 competition first edition 1 of 8. V8, a special homologated headlight, but if we switch those on, they've now been launched with the M5 CS, and when we come round, just check these out, especially against the frozen deep green metallic paintwork. Those look brilliant. Of course, the LCI headlight, but with the running lights, the lower sections, as you can see, the traditional 4-eye style, but in the bright yellow against the full white of the traditional headlights, or I should say the futuristic headlights really, that you do have with the M5 CS. Now we need to talk as well about the engine and also check out the luggage space. So to pop open the engine bay, it's a double pull of the lever down in the driver's footwell. If we come round, the whole bonnet is actually made from carbon fibre and has a fantastic logo on the underside, but this is where you have the 4.4 litre twin-power turbo V8, in this case up from the 600 horsepower of the M5 and the 625 of the competition to 635 horsepower with 750 newton meters of torque, an engine powering through the four-wheel drive or through the two-wheel drive as you prefer. But look at that. The M5 CS logo embossed into the exposed carbon fibre of the underside of the bonnet, looking fantastic. Each time you ever open that bonnet up, it is going to be quite an event to see it. Closing it back down though, I think let's head out, just take in this car with the headlights on. It looks amazing, especially with that colour for the wheels. I think it's going to be a very popular configuration. Of course, it can be had as well in a more subtle appearance. And we also have the new tail light style as well, the 3D, almost textures, stylized style rear tail lights. Inside the luggage space, it's still a practical, usable vehicle. You don't have the through load system in the rear bench, of course, with the changed seating configuration, but still plenty of space for almost all typical purposes as you might want to use such a car at the end of the day. Let's head to the interior and all of the changes here, like the steering wheel and the seats, but also the trim, now with the full black Merino leather with the Red Mugello contrast stitching. We also have the M5 CS entry sills, and then those seats that were launched with the M3 and the M4, the carbon fibre backed folding sports buckets, but in this case on the headrests, you have the outline of the Nürburgring track, which really emphasises the extensive testing that this car did at the famous and grueling Green Hell to hone in the driving dynamics. Now, taking a step on board to start going through it all, we also have the new full Alcantara steering wheel. We've got the red configurable M1 and M2 mode buttons, as well as the red start-stop button on the dash. Just waking it up, the large LCI digital display comes into life with all of the latest technology, gesture control, and functions that you would want for daily driving purposes. On the steering wheel, we have the carbon fibre shift paddles that were introduced with the M3 and M4 as well, with the red inserts. We've got a logo on the dash, we've got the central console that comes from the update, and then those seats, which we'll take a better look at as well, looking stunning, and actually the 4-seat layout for the M5 CS with the 2 dedicated seats in the back. We'll take a better look at those in a moment too. But coming back to the front, you can see the large digital displays in the centre for the infotainment, the dashboard, which has the M5 CS logo, and also the gold bronze wheels on the car found in the centre. You can go through all of the trip controls, obviously this being a pre-production car sitting on 14 kilometres. The central screen, you can interact with it in many ways, from touch to the xDrive controller. You can cycle through the different tiles and the displays and set this up exactly how you'd like it. It also has the gesture control to wave and lower the volume, to reject phone calls, and go through all of these different screens depending exactly what you'd like to see and how you would like to set it up. If you go into car, this is where through the iDrive controller in the center, you can then select various different settings in the M menu to do with the drive. So you can configure your 2 M1 and M2 mode buttons. You've got a number of different aspects and elements of the drive, from the engine response to the transmission, the drive and sport modes, to the chassis, to the steering, to the DSC, the traction control, and then of course the xDrive, where you can set it between four-wheel drive sport, and two-wheel drive, depending if you want to be a little bit more boisterous and burn up some rubber along the way. We've got the head-up display, we've got all of the creature comforts that you would hope to find in such a vehicle found through there. And from my experience at the M5, there are a lot of things that you can set up, a lot of controls, and we could spend a very long time going through everything that is available. Your journey data, your sport displays, for example, these are great to have up when you're out driving on a track when you want some of that information, but we will show the track mode as well that launched, I think, with the M8 competition. If we then go into the M mode, With the button in the center, you can either go into Sport, where it will put some of the driving assistance systems inactive, or you could hold it to Track, which actually turns off the central screen and makes it entirely the focus for the driver looking at the main dashboard display right in front of them with all of the crucial information. The door handle pulls are again inside the carbon fibre trim. We've got lovely red accents throughout the interior of the car, but let's head around. Into the rear of the car then, and a better look at those carbon-backed buckets, looking fantastic, but the two-seat rear configuration, you actually do have the headrest outline of the Nürburgring as well. The two seats finished very similarly to those found up front, obviously without the carbon fibre found on the back of them, which make the seats a little bit slimmer and give plenty of space in the back, while looking truly brilliant with all of the red accents, the Red Mugello that you can see around. In the centre at the rear, there's the CS designation, there's a small storage cubby found between the seats, and then some of your climate controls and different functions found beneath the armrest, which is still remaining up front despite the removal of the cup holders. But the back of those seats with the exposed gloss carbon fibre, a really nice detail on the M3. I haven't actually gone for the seats on mine, but I'm quickly starting to regret it when I'm looking at this footage showing how good they look on board the M5. But you know what? I think it is time as well that we get to hear the M5 CS. So let's have a cold start and a few revs to take in the sound. There we have it then, the new BMW M5 CS, a car that I cannot wait to drive at some point, hopefully in the not too distant future. I imagine if you take the already incredible BMW M5 competition and refine it even further to make it even more of a driver's machine, I think we have a return to something very special from BMW M, and I cannot wait. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this first look at BMW's new Super Saloon for the track, but that is it for this time, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!